No, we're not. Oh, yes, we are. Sorry about that. Cool, because this is a piece. And by the way, we'll send these to you, so you don't have to read every word now. Okay, but you know, everybody finds themselves in a different place, and the how can I put it? The gurus out there today want to teach you how to get rich quick. Whenever you hear that, or somebody's trying to sell you a product and they're talking about fancy cars and boats and all this bling that you can get if you just do their program, don't walk away. Freaking run, because they're scammers and they're shams. Because it's not like that, you guys. How many people do you know that have been an overnight success? It's just BS. And this stuff takes time, and it takes it takes effort to grind the wheels to get it going and then it just kind of builds on itself over time. So the first piece is a financial rookie. You don't know jack. And this is where most of America is, not the one life community, but most of our country is, they're upside down, they're living for today, and they don't even think about any of this stuff. So that's number one. Number two is you're an apprentice. You're starting to make some money. You've got maybe you've even bought your first house and stuff, and you're just starting to make things happen, but you don't have a lot going on. Number three is you've got a little things going. You got your house, you got a retirement in place, you got a little extra money coming in, some basic knowledge, and you're working on how you can get somewhere. There are some 4 and 5 levels on this call. You're level 4, you're a financial star. Maybe you have a few rentals coming in. You understand the game of passive income. You understand that you don't always have to work if you can get your money working for you. And there's people in this community that are well on their way to level 4 financial star. And level 5 is you've reached critical mass. You have more money coming in every month without you working anymore than what it costs you to live. And I know that's kind of rare air, but I've seen hundreds. I have not seen thousands. I've met tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people. I've met hundreds who are at level 5. It's not easy to do, but it can be done. And this is by, knowing what's coming in, what's going out, and learning a lot about investing and understanding money really well. And Hector talked about an offer at the end of this to work with me. I'm pretty sure most of you on this call know I played this game really well. And I went from level 1, maybe level 2 at 25 years old to level 5 by 40, and was financially free and got to choose what I've done, get to choose what I want to do for the last 20 years. So this is something, if you're interested in this piece of this, you might want to take advantage of the offer we have at the end of this call. So Hector or anybody, do you have any questions on this piece?
Yeah, let's throw your questions down at the end. I think that was a great explanation. Let's just keep rolling. If there's anything else you want to add here, otherwise we can go to the next part, because I know there's quite a bit to get through, and I'd love to give some time at the end for people to ask questions after they've
you go, Hector, move it along, brother.
All right, so let's talk about the 4 quarters of life here. And I mentioned that I really enjoyed this, because I think that another great thing about being in the One Life community is that there's people at all different stages, and everybody is able to connect around the core 4 and around the fulfillment triangle. And age is really not something that separates or distincts or divides people within the One Life community. So talk to us about the 4 quarters here and kind of this journey here. It says from question to contentment. And I think even, what we talk about here is really to fulfillment, which I think is at the end there.
Yeah. So this is a concept I came up with earlier this year. I was doing a GoBundance, goods in the woods, design your One Life Legacy program, I had 6 people come to my house, and I wrote this out right before that because I kind of had this concept of the 2 mountains we climb in life. And in the first quarter and the second quarter, you're climbing that first mountain. And like the first quarter is just dialing it in and kind of having your frontal lobe getting created, and just figuring out who in the heck am I, and figuring out the important pieces of that fulfillment triangle, perhaps. So just figuring out who in the heck am I and where do I belong. And then the second quarter is really is ascending the first mountain and really dialing in the fulfillment triangle and getting to, starting to put plans in place. Where am I going with my future? What am I doing with my life? And doing all the things that set you up to where hopefully the second half of your life is going to be really amazing. So in this point, you're dialing in your finances. Maybe you're starting your family. Maybe you're really getting your health and fitness, just the whole piece in place of your one life fully lived. Just getting it all dialed in to where hopefully by 40 years old, you're in really good shape. And by the way, if you look up and you're on this call and you're 55 years old and you still haven't had it dialed in, there's no race. You know what I mean? It's your game, you guys. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. And also, if you're 22 years old and you feel like you've already got this part dialed in, hey, good for you. You're ahead of the game. Maybe take a detour. Who says? It's one of the things we say at One Life Fully Lived. Who says? It's your life. Don't let people, tell you this is the box that you have to walk through your life in. So the third quarter is hopefully you've dialed in that first mountain and you've got the finances, the fitness, the family, the who the heck am I and what's my life all about? You've got that piece, and you can start to go deeper with the second questions of life of why in the heck was I put here? What is my life going to be about? And you start thinking about what will my legacy be, and what do I want them to say about me? Like what do I want to leave behind, and why was I created? So the first 20 years is dialing it in. The second 20 years is really, earning and figuring things out and getting everything in place. So hopefully between 40 and 60, you're starting to go towards that legacy piece and what will my life be about. And then the fourth quarter, hopefully 60 to 137, you're really enjoying your life. You should have a big perma smile because all the heavy lifting stuff. So, so this is the piece where hopefully by then, I maybe you're a grandparent, maybe you got, maybe you're just into giving back and spending a lot of your time in service and stuff. And maybe you're 64 years old and you got to get up every day and still work. Maybe that's what your life's, you're just at that place and things didn't quite go as you hope. I hope that's not the case for you. And I hope you're, let's say you're 37 years old watching this or listening to this, and you're right on top of your game or a little bit behind, but that's why that audit is so good for all of you to do, to just take a good look at where am I at with all of this and what's most important to me. So I don't know how much of this you got to read while I babbled along, but this is you start off with we all start off in the same place. And then as we go through life, we all evolve at differing periods. But I think it's really good to kind of break it down and look at where am I now? Where am I going? What haven't I done that I wanted to make sure I did in life? And then who do I want to bring with me? And why is all of this important?
I think you kind of touched on it a little bit there, Tim, but I think what's so valuable, especially for people who are going to be in the, in the Roadmap for You program, is to be able to help them go from each stage to the next one, and really, excelling through each stage. So what do you think is important for someone who is maybe in a transition, or maybe finds themselves in, in a different stage than they previously were, or maybe they're stuck? I don't know, wherever you kind of want to take this, but I'd love for you to kind of share a little bit on moving through those different stages.
Hey, I just got a quick question. When I have my screen on, am I breaking up at all? Should I turn it off?
No, I think you're coming in okay, but if you want to hold a little closer to the mic, would be great. I think we could bear to hear you a little louder.
Okay, how is that?
That's great.
Cool. So I said before, all of you find yourselves at differing places, and I think it's the case as long as you've got a mindset of growth and want to get better. I think One Life and myself can help you take your life to another level. I think that it's the kind of saying, if you're coachable, we can help. And everybody on this call finds themselves in different places. The biggest thing where I think I've been able to help people is people who have really good earning power but don't know what the heck to do with the extra money and have tried to get somewhere in the past, and just really don't know what the heck they're doing. I think one of my two strengths is, one, the saying, it's not what you make, but what you do with what you make that makes a difference. And two is when you are stuck and you're trying to figure out, I got like options of which way to go, and I'm really not sure which makes the most sense for me. That's something that in the past that I've been able to help people with also. So.